Welcome, everybody. This is going to be a special episode just for Halloween. And, well, before we get started, I think a change of attire is definitely in order. And I mean, well, I guess title and thumbnail already gave away what I'm doing, but I guess my costume will give it definitely away. Give me a second. Jinkies! Look what I got for skin, this beautiful Wilma Dinkley costume. So, fun fact about me, I grew up loving Scooby Doo, and I had no idea what to do for Halloween, and then I'm like looking at my forearm, and well, I got a Scooby Doo tattoo, and that's kind of like, duh. I could have done that. I could have known that from the get-go. So, why don't we start with a nice haunted mansion on the hill? Basically what I'm going to do is use Axiom and World Edit and try to come up with something pretty neat. I will show you, or at least I hope future me will, think about showing you what I'm going for right about now, and then the rest of the build will be a time lapse, and I suppose I will, for once, actually be explaining what I'm doing. So, sit tight and have fun. Alright, we're starting here with blocking out some shapes. I used emeralds for the front part of the mansion and diamonds for the main house. Also gold for the side. I will later on use iron for the tower and whatnot, but right now this is what I'm working with. I am working with World Edit and with Axiom, so you will see me shove things around, primarily with Axiom though, and I'm also actually learning this program as I'm going. I have had a little bit of practice, but this definitely improved my skills by a long shot. Right now I'm trying to decipher a height, but as you will see further on in the video, I'm gonna change stuff up as I go all the time. This experience in general was really a fun one. Just, learning how to use Axiom properly and how to actually do a huge creative build. As you can see here right now, I also ended up using some, what's it called, prepper, just, to get an outline for the roof and whatnot, and I used iron for the full block just to still have a color contrast while working. And I'm not gonna lie, I just recently started getting into these colorful, methods to build, and then later on just manipulate that with brushes. You can technically do that as well in World Edit. You don't just have to have Axiom for this, but to be fair, Axiom definitely makes life so much easier. The total time I have spent on this project, probably building wise, without procrastination, 16-17 hours? I mean, yes, but also it took me way longer to record because in between definitely a lot of just sitting around and staring at the project, trying to figure out how to move on. It's definitely an interesting progress of just working from one actual shot of a house and then trying to figure out all the other details. in preparation for the build, I actually did watch the episode, which the building of my inspiration is from, and you don't get to see the house at all. Just in 2 shots, and that's all I had to work off of. So you will see me just in a moment work with a lot of symmetry. I'm currently basically figuring out how that works, building in symmetry, and it's interesting, to say the least. You can see me right now that I copied the one part over and then just rotated it, because at that point in time I had not figured out yet that there is this symmetry function in Axiom where you can have a north to south symmetry and or a east to west symmetry. Also the y-axis could be a symmetry point, which I'm about to figure out in a little while. Thus far, I'm still working just manually and copy pasting, as you can see. And I'm doing that quite a few times where I just get rid of the tower again. But in all honesty, this was a really interesting way of learning it instead of just watching tutorials and knowing exactly what I'm doing. But here, as you can see, I just used iron gates as a thing for the top, and that's the first time now that I'm starting to use World Edit alongside, because just replacing things is much quicker if you just go pose 1, pose 2, and then just replace X block. That's still something I do struggle with. But here, I am trying to figure out the right thickness of the tower to make it not as massive, but also kind of make sense. But I'm going to change it up again, just in a moment. See? But, yeah. I would say my approach to creative builds is really chaotic, but definitely worth it. At this point, I'm starting to add details in, such as the windows and placements of those. And right there, I just realized, not happy with how much room I have in between each windows. And I'll, in the end, change that up quite a few more times. Just adding in a row or two. Trying to make sense of the windows, which, in all honesty, one of the worst parts, trying to make those gable-y bits look right, because I either worked on a too small scale or even numbers. Like, even numbers, the worst. I have no idea what drove me to go with even numbers. Worst decision ever. I should have just went on the even numbers. Like, height-wise, no problem. But from left to right, nah. Next time, please, uneven numbers. At this point in time, I'm actually starting to paint I did record my screen for it from the inside, but it doesn't really look great, so I kind of just figured I'll show you guys from the outside. And here I'm actually starting to figure out how annoyed I am at not being able to replace the stairs that they face the orientation they should have as I placed them in the first place. And then, it just didn't work. They all face the same way. But at this point, I already figured out I have a replace block button, and then I figured out the symmetry thing. So that actually made life a lot easier. We're starting to reach the color scheme I'm actually going for, which you do not see right now or during the entire time lapse. I always stopped and looked at stuff while using the shader just to make sure how it looks. I also tried 3 different shaders and I ended to go with Spook Lamentary. Yeah. Here I decided I want a trim. And guess what? I'm changing that trim up 3 times in the end. I keep adding details and taking them away again. Eventually I had the glorious idea of actually copying the house and then having an idea or a quicker way to go back. Right here, I still thought that's gonna be the main entrance, and then I decided, nah, it's gonna be a window. Windows is also a part which I changed out quite often to figure out what I'm doing. Currently, I have black concrete behind the not lit windows. Also struggle to go with deciding what trim I'm using for the windows. At one point or another, I think I had like 5 different styles, which I then decided like, yeah, it might not be the bestest idea, but I think it worked out in the end. Oh, and as you see, there again a split because I decided the windows are too close. And I didn't always think about the symmetry thing. Sometimes I forgot to use it, and sometimes I forgot it's turned on, and I had to fix a lot of things in the roof and the windows for the tower that was a little bit annoying. Oh boy. And here's a part. I'm so mad that I did that because I wasted a bunch of times because I thought might be nice, and I had no idea how in the hell I'm going to actually make that work. And at the end, when I'm putting it on a mountain, I'm just getting rid of it because yeah, it's unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. Right. right here I decided I wanted more of a shading or a gradient in the roof. And I ended up using deep slate tiles with the black stone, just to decide that I like where I'm going with it, but I didn't like the tiles. So here I'm now preparing everything that I put the tuff into the bordering, because I wanted to use the deep slate bricks with the blackstone bricks, which in the end I regretted doing, and then I changed it up again. But it also was kind of fun changing it up all the time. Axiom definitely makes it easy to just go ahead and change it up, especially the mixture of Axiom and World Edit.
Okay, all right. So, I have no idea how editing me is making a segue to this part of the video, but I kind of think I should step in at this point and say something about my actual thought process right now, instead of trying to recap that later in what's it called? Voiceover, right? So this is basically what we had going on right in the beginning, right? Just, you know, the normal blackstone going with some of the crack, and I think somewhere I do have some polished in there, but not a lot. And going with the deep slate border. Theoretically, I really like this. But, however, I do want a gradient in here. And FYI, you know, you can just copy things around, which I did. I don't think I recorded it. But you'll know more than I do right now, because you're in the future and I'm in the past. Anyways, getting distracted. So, however, I kind of figured, why not use the deep slate tiles to mix in with the blackstone, right? From a distance, like a far, far distance. You know, as soon as you can't really see the tiles anymore, the color gradient also gets lost, in my opinion. And I'm really not the biggest fan of the tiles as is here, right? It's just basically, I don't know. It's just kind of off and weird and whatnot. So therefore, I kind of had the feeling like, okay, let's use the deep slate with the blackstone, but and then I need to change the border stuff, which I used Tuff on, as you can see here, but to be honest, not really in love with it. Really not. Like, it kind of looks good, but it kind of is off. The only thing I think I might try is actually taking the tile and using the tile as the border. And then I'll see what's going on. Unless I use something to border this that kinda is just dark. But I don't know. I mean, the cobbled deep slate has their variants, but I don't think that would look good. Let's look what we have in stair variants. Or we could just go with the cobbled blackstone, but that also would look kinda off. Yana, let me try and see what happens if I change up the tuff to bricks, no, to tiles, and then we can make an educated decision. Well, you will see what my decision is. Anyways, let's get on with this.
So basically I then went ahead and changed out the tuff again for the tiles, and that definitely is my winner for the bordering. Close up, it might still be a little off because tiles and bricks, in my opinion, don't work perfectly together. But yeah. And here, I actually kept the axiom view. As you can see, my computer struggles a lot with some of the rendering. But for all of you who are new, and for all others, just a reminder, my computer is 8 years old. I am actually so highly impressed what my computer managed to handle with Axiom there, because at one point or another, I was just copying and pasting 500,000 blocks into the world, which, I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect that that's going to work or happen. Like, most of the time, fingers crossed, please computer, don't die on me, don't crash. I need this video to happen. And it's happening. It's definitely happening. So I apologize for the choppiness at one point or another in the video, but in the beginning I had my render distance just at like 14 to help my computer out a little bit, and then as you can see, it was harsh on the mountain. Always trying to render in this part and then that part and whatnot. But I have the video done, or at least the recording at this point in time. Didn't crash my computer. So I'm happy. I can't wait to get a better computer and do this again with just even more insane and bigger projects. I think that could be a lot of fun. But yes, to talk you through the process, I used the sculpt tool to actually sculpt the terrain. Then I went over and copied the house on top. Then I melted a pathway into the rock and painted it with a noise map. And then I went ahead and put some moss on top of the on the stone. And right now what you're seeing Tiny Me doing is putting moss carpet in front, because I use a texture pack from Vanilla Tweaks that lets the moss hang down on the side of the rock. You will at one point or another see it, and probably showing it off in my final bits just to give an overall detailed look. But yeah, it definitely makes a difference if you have those bits hanging down than just a stupid carpet. Oh god, can't talk. But it wouldn't be an Athy video without me not being able to talk. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it in, because I'm human. I make mistakes. That's the fun part about me. But yeah, that moss carpet is definitely a really nice texture pack to get, if you would decide to get any. Just watching this time lapse, it so reminds me of speed painting. But basically what I've done with a lot of the things with Axiom. It's just painting. And here you saw that I finally got rid of that part, which I already mentioned that I'm going to get rid of, and I just boarded it up with more tile just to have a little more substance, I guess, to the house. Just filled the gaps, decided to change the door once more and add some proper steps into there. And then I'm fixing the pathway. Just making it more logical that it's not all over the place. And added in some of the mud bricks, slabs. Just so if somebody wants to walk up there, they actually can walk up there without needing to jumping up there. Generally speaking, my idea with this build, which I had, is in my single player world, I'm actually going to do the crazy task and build it on survival, because this is the perfect place to hide my creeper farm. I'd rather stare at a mountain with a house in the distance than at an ugly ass creeper farm. But yeah, here I decided to build a bunch of dead trees over there, a nice bigger oak tree, and now I'm trying myself on, I guess, a pine tree of sort. Who would have thought that the mangrove roots actually have a nice purpose? Because they look like dead tree leaves. It's awesome. Here I just copy and pasted the pine tree in a couple of more times, and adding here and there a couple of more smaller dead trees. Not even sure what type of tree it is. It's dead, that's all. Now I'm actually working with a little bit more quote unquote grain, because birch leaf, no, it's spruce leaf, not birch leaf. But yeah, it's not really green, but I wanted a little bit of ivy in there, and I don't really like the vines. I can't wait for the Pale Gardens update, because I will definitely be adding pale moss into this build. As you just saw, sometimes clicking off in the distance is just the worst, because all of a sudden you just click on sculpt until down there. And I tried doing the tree trunk at first with a brush, which didn't really work out. But here I'm building an even bigger dead oak tree. I just went random. I had no actual plan of action. I just spam clicked and placed blocks and then just took them away. That was a perfect plan. Got me a nice tree. That's for sure. And alright, we're actually on the final stretch of it all. I was horrified for building clouds. And in all honesty, it took me 2 hours to get the clouds done. Because right now I just build up a shape. A cloud, yeah, cloudy-like shape with stone. And then I used World Edit to go and replace the blocks with, what did I do? 65% stone and 35% air, and then I did that a second pass around. And then there's auto shading in Axiom, and I just selected it all and I did the auto shading, and oh my god, it worked. And it looks amazing, if I say so myself. Then I did that again for a smaller cloud, because I am placing a bunch of other clouds to the bigger cloud. Just works perfectly.
Well, I just pasted this into a new creative world. Looked for an ocean, and this might be massive. I literally didn't expect this to be this massive. Seeing it in a super flat build world, compared to an actual Minecraft world, it's crazy. Let me tell you, it's crazy. But let me turn on some shaders. Wow. Wow. Even though it's still loading in. I'm really in love with these Spooklementary shaders. It just gives such an amazing atmosphere. Just look at the cloud. It's, I love it. These trees look even creepier. Oh my god. Let's just walk up here for a moment. And I did a bang up job with walking, placing these nice slabs, you know. Figured make it easy, but yeah. It looks amazing. It looks so good. So good. Here are a few things I just completely failed to manage to mention in the video up until now. Of course, I have a bunch of cobwebs placed around. I eventually thought about, hey, I could put the skull here. In the shader, it actually looks awesome. So I have glow like in here somewhere as well to give some more texture. And I put skulk behind the glass. And I am immediately getting Twilight Zone vibes here. I just love it. And it's just shader that I love this shader pack, not gonna lie. I really am having fun with this shader pack. And here at the back end, I neglected to show that as well, or talk about it. I have a little bit of a, what's it called, balcony going on with a bigger door and, you know, just some smaller windows, but nothing going on. Theoretically, I need to add a pathway down here to the whatever it's called. But it was on the drawing from Scooby Doo, so I just put it there because why not? Now, let's just look at this in a thunderstorm. Ooh, spooky and gloomy. Oh, I just love this. I just love this. Can I please get some thunder? Hello? Do I have? Oh, I have the weather. Interesting. Am I not getting thunder? I guess not. Ah! There it is. There it was. This, oops. This looks awesome. It makes it so worth it. I know I just said that again a lot, but that definitely makes it worth it. One more thing before I let you guys go. Let's just do midnight as well, because I do need to show the spookiness of the shader. You'll have eyes poking out everywhere and a nice red moon somewhere along here. It's just awesome. I think I need to play with this shader more often. I love it. But anything horror related, you can just get me. It's awesome. Now. Anyways, guys. I hope you enjoyed my Halloween build. If you'd like me to do more creative builds, just let me know in the comments and then I'll see what I can do. I definitely have a lot of fun building creatively, so if people want to see it, I'm willing to do it. Anyways, everybody, a lot of fun going out trick-or-treating or whatever you do. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye-bye!